That's notes for section 114 on review of solving a quadratic equation. So in the previous course, you learned how to solve quadratic equations that can be written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. We're going to review two methods for solving quadratic equations below. Some quadratic equations can be solved by factoring and then using the zero product property. For example, the quadratic x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0 can be written by factoring x minus 2 times x plus 2 equals 0. The product property states that if a times b is 0, then a is 0 and so is b. So we can just pull these out to solve for what x would be when it's 0. So x minus 5 equals 0 would be x equals 5. X plus 2 equals 0 would be x equals negative 2. So as long as one of our parentheses equals 0, the whole thing is 0. Another method is using the quadratic equation. This method is particularly helpful for solving quadratics that are difficult or impossible to factor. Before using the quadratic equation, you want to solve must be in standard form, that is written as ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. In this form, a is the coefficient of the x squared term, b is the coefficient of the x term, and c is the constant. So here's the quadratic formula. It's read as x is equal to the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. This formula gives two possible solutions for x. The two solutions are shown by this plus and minus symbol that reads plus or minus. In shorthand notation, that tells you to evaluate the expression twice, once using addition and once using subtraction. Because when we take the square root, the answer can either be positive or negative, because negative 2 to the second power is 4, and so is positive 2. So, so in the course, if b squared minus 4ac equals 0, then you'll get the same result both times. So let's do a practice problem. So to solve x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0 using the quadratic formula, we're going to substitute a equals 1, b equals negative 3, and c equals negative 10 into the formula as shown below. Then simplify. So we get x equals, b is negative 3, so the opposite would be positive 3, plus or minus the square root of b squared, or negative 3 squared, minus 4 times 1 times negative 10, all divided by 2 times 1. Right, so when we continue that over, start to simplify our problem. So we get 3 plus or minus negative 3 to the second power is 9. Negative 4 or minus 4 times 1 times negative 10 is going to give us a positive 40 divided by positive 2. So if we keep going, we're going to get 3 plus or minus the square root of 49 divided by 2, which is equal to 3 plus or minus 7 divided by 2. So here's where we start to, we do it two different ways. So now we're going to do 3 plus 7 divided by 2, which is 10 divided by 2, or 5. Or we're going to do 3 minus 7 divided by 2, which is negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. So x equals 5 or negative 2.